Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Canadian Off-Road 4x4 here again with you guys. Today I'm doing another review video on my new suspension that I just got, the Elka suspension 2.0. So, man, loud in the garage with this exhaust some days. So I wanted to do another review on the suspension because, I mean, when I got this installed, I had a lot of people actually asking me about it and wanted to hear a lot of reviews. Not too sure about if you guys on the US side can get Elka or not, or maybe you can, but maybe it just costs a pretty penny, kind of like when we buy stuff from you guys in the States, which is 90% of it, it costs a pretty penny. But I mean, you guys are, I think, cheaper for us. So, I mean, you might have a better pricing than I do. So, I've had the Elka 2.0 suspension for about a month now. It's actually, time flies. It felt like I just got it and I had it for a month already. And so, just to kind of give you some background information, they are only 2.0s, 650-pound coils, fully adjustable, fully rebuildable as well, easy to mount. They're all pre-assembled and everything. There's no like separation to it. You don't have to pre-assemble. They come pre-assembled from the get-go, or the guys that I bought it from assemble it. But they also tuned it for me for what I like. They asked me how much lift I wanted, and this one ranges from 0 to 2 inches, because after 2 inches you have to look at upper control arms. So, and I've got it set at 1.75. So let's get right into the review, and that will be it. All right, so you guys want to know how that Elka 2.0 suspension's doing me, eh? All right, well, let's go out and take a look at her. So it's been, what are we looking at now? Probably a month and a half now since I've actually had this suspension on. It's been a little bit longer. So at the beginning of the video, that was about a week or two ago, because I kind of had some problems or whatever, so I couldn't do the video for the next little while, and then work kind of got in front of me and stuff like that, so I kind of got a little too busy to do this video, because I want to be fully focused on this video, because this is I'm getting a lot of people asking about the Elkas. So I thought now I can finally do it or whatever, and I want to get it to you guys as fast as we can. So I'm going to show you how the suspension is looking after about a month and a half underneath the truck. So there's the bottom portion, and there's pretty much, here's how she is. So there's like all, see everything, all the threads, and then that's how much preload she's running. So from the get-go, the shop that I bought them from asked me what I wanted the lift for, how much lift. I said 1.75, a little bit more than what 6112s were giving me at 1.5 inches, so it was good. So I got a little bit more lift out of it. And like I said, you've already got all the background details of what the stats are and all this and that. So these are basically an upgradable suspension part that can handle some weight and also keep you in stock alignment with stock upper control arms and this and that, because there's 0 to 2 inches, then there's a 2.5 to 3 inch 2.0 suspension that you can get as well. So there's a variety. There's even ones with reservoirs and we're without at 2.5s, but you're looking at like probably, these were 1,300. You're looking at about 2 grand probably, maybe upwards of 3 grand for like top of the food chain there. So I mean, that shit gets expensive there, but they are worth it. Holy crap, guys. I'm not exaggerating. I thought the 6112s are great because I was a beefy, 2.5, and it was affordable. And then I got onto these, and holy wow, for 2.0s, like you wouldn't even be able to tell, like from a naked guy. Maybe a guy would think those are 2.5s because of how big they are, but these 2.0s are rocking, guys. So on-road performance, you definitely can't go wrong with it. It absorbs a lot more on the pavement than the 6112s. I find it's not as spongy, so obviously at first it rides a little stiff. With these, I actually didn't notice a difference. Like, I've been on these for a month and a half, and it still rides the same as it was when I first got them on. 6112s were a little bit stiffer at first, then they softened up quite a bit, because when I did my measuring, I was at like 2.5 inches of lift. And then when it settled, I settled down to 1.5 inches, or maybe it was like 2.25. Either way, I settled down like 1/2 inch or so. These, they don't, I don't feel like they settle down or anything like that. So there's that. But the on-road performance, it absorbs so much better. It doesn't feel as spongy. It doesn't actually, it never bottomed out on the 6112s, but I felt like I was close to it because just of how much compression there was. But I also noticed that the 6112s just didn't like to go up, just compress and come back and forth fast enough. These ones so far, from what I've tested around my city, because I mean, I have roads that are like this. Like I can Baja on a pavement here, guys. Like our Saskatchewan roads are shite. So on-road performance, major improvement compared to what I've had. As for no sway bar, way better. The stiffer coil at 650 pounds compared to the Bilstein Abachi ones at like 560, I think, or something like that those were, or 580. It feels a lot more controlled and a little bit stiffer on the body roll, so that's a big plus there. Like I just can't believe it, because like I'm so used to no sway barring, right? So when I started driving around and just feeling the corners and this and that, and like it still body rolls obviously, but it feels more, I guess, safer in a way you could put it. Not sure how else to put it for that. I mean, like I said, it just feels better. Like you would have to drive, compare the two, then you would kind of know. But the stiffer coil, or the heavier coil I should say, would definitely help with that. Just kind of keeps it all, the front end a little bit higher and stuff like that. Braking wise, it kind of feels the same. I didn't even kind of notice too much on nose diving. I mean, on stock suspension I did, but I mean, compared to these two, I don't see too much of a nose diving difference for braking. So there's that. Off-road, holy shit, where do I start on that? There's a couple videos for you guys to see here. I'm coming up on a little hill or whatever, and you know, all my buddies are like, you know, throttle down a bit. So I did. I was like, this is when I just started having the suspension. I was like, oh, let's have some fun. Yeah, so I brought those tires up off the ground a little bit, and it's kind of weird how this all works, right? But it feels so much more aggressive in the cab than it does on the video. But I'll tell you right now, like that was pretty crazy of me to do. I've never done that stuff. I don't like to, because that's a good way to snap axles or destroy your whole drivetrain, as long as you don't know what you're doing. But I mean, when you're first doing it, what can you expect, right? So, but for that compression there, I didn't even really feel it. Like it rides so much better. I just love it. Off-road everywhere, gravels, bumps, the hill climbing, like everything. Like it doesn't fall on its face or anything. That's the best part about it so far. Like I said, with the 6112s, they kind of were spongy. But I think if you got the stiffer coils from Bilstein or a different coil, I don't think you'll have a problem. Maybe that's a different comparison. But like I said, when you're just buying straight from 6112 to these Elka's winning so far with the compression for sure. So like I said, you know, the off-road is just way better. So another instance is actually I'll give you guys a quick teaser of this. I did jump this truck when I first got the suspension, just to see, because I have kind of jumped the 6112s a bit. So I was like, you know, let's see what it does. And massive difference. Like I said, I don't think I've ever hit the bump stops on the 6112s, but it just compressed that suspension so much better, and it just felt better overall. Like I just can't get over it for sure. So like I said, the Elka is honestly, out of everything, it beats the 6112s out of the water, hands down. Now, if you wanted to compare the pricing, you're looking at like about 1,300 Canadian, 1,000 US for this Elka 2.0, just the 2.0. So this is basically like bottom of the level of Elka. And then the 6112s, I mean, you can get on sale anywhere from, like, I think it's what, 600 US maybe, upwards of what I paid was like 800 US, maybe 900. But you add in some costs, because you either got to get different springs, which I think for the most part any vendor or aftermarket shop that you go to for the 6112s can get different springs. You can either get the B12s if they're in stock, or I think you can even get Kings as an option. You can get 700-pound Kings for these, so there's that. But obviously you'd be looking at a few more bucks. So, but there's downsides to it for the value of it, because if you're spending not that much less or about the same, the 6112s aren't rebuildable, But apparently from one of these guys that just commented on my 1-year review, he says they are rebuildable. You would have to send it to either back to Bilstein to get rebuilt, which is pretty common sense for that, or you can send it to some sort of repair shock shop. But I don't know for sure, because I mean, we couldn't even put the freaking the shaft back in properly because it just wouldn't stay in. So I mean, we tried to thread it in, we went tight on it, we put it in vice grip and all that. It wouldn't go back in at all, even just to kind of maybe temporarily put it back on my truck. That wasn't happening. So but if they are rebuildable, great. If not, then whatever, I guess. But like I said, the one guy emailed Bilstein and he got the answer for that, so I'm putting that out there for everyone else. These Elkas are rebuildable as well, and you know, as far as I know, they won't have to be rebuilt for another 60,000 miles unless you know, I wear them out even faster. But they are rebuildable, they're fully adjustable. So I mean, that's another perk too, is that they're adjustable with just the Allen key kind of technique or whatever. It doesn't have to be taken off the spring and then adjusted the clip up or down like the 6112. So there's something to keep in mind there too. And if you can't do that, or if you have to pay a shop to do it, or if you have a friend, sure. But if not, you're paying for labor costs every time to swap out your clips if you want to change it from like 3 to 4 or 4 to 5, whatever. But I mean, with the access cap, I went as high as I could at 4 and 4, so that was pretty much it there. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of beating the bush around this, guys. So like I said, I'm loving these Elkas. And honestly want to get the Elka rears now. I would probably go big or go home on the rears though, because I know that the solid axle in the rear, and I do like these 5160s, but I mean, Elka, man. I honestly just want to start repping the Canadian business too, but they just look so much nicer and beefier for sure. So that's probably one of the bigger reasons. But just because, I mean, the 5160s, I mean, underneath kind of thing, they're kind of getting ugly under there too. I mean, that's kind of a sad part there, so I don't like that. But whatever, I guess, right? We'll do a later review if I ever swap those out, but I don't have that kind of money to swap rear shocks out again. So I mean, I paid 300 Canadian each for those, so that's more than enough. I'd imagine the Elkas are probably about 400 or 500 each, so that's another grand or so for rear suspension. I still got to get the Adeleaf in here anyways, right? So but yeah, guys, all around, these Elkas are just, they're spot on. If you have access to them and you're in debate between that 2.5 budget build 6112 compared to this, I would definitely go Elka. I'm sorry, Bilstein, but like, you guys make great shocks for sure in some cases, but Elka's beating you. So like I said, on-road performance, great. It compresses better, it handles better, just feels overall better. It doesn't feel like I'm bouncing around or anything like that. You know, it just compresses and it stays in control. You know, it holds the truck. The 650 pound coils are the biggest win for this, because I mean, I'm getting a bumper and all that, so it's a big win on that. So it's gonna hold up the truck nicely and I won't have to worry about it. Off-road, like I said, it's great all around so far from when I've tested. I have faith in that suspension all day long. No sway bar on it, even better improvement, because like I said, the stiffer coil or the heavier coil is just so much better. So you guys let me know what you guys think. Like I said, I've posted the videos all in the background there as I've been talking there, so I hope those kind of show you off. And I'll keep bringing you guys videos and reviews on my products and on my truck. Being that it's COVID, there's not much to do lately, but I mean, we try and go out and have fun every now and again, that's for sure. So take care, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Later.